Just look at me now. Just look at me now. Just look at me now. Eyes up on me, take a look at me now. Just look at me now. Just look at me now. Eyes up on me, take a look at me now.
Takes on the strike. Side body.
Chelsea are champions.
Hello and welcome to the Women's Football Show. 6 matches from the weekend to bring you with bags of goals, plenty of drama and shock results. Here's what's coming up. Arsenal went in search of their 4th consecutive league win. They travelled to the King Power to face Leicester City. 2 sides with impressive starts to the season went head-to-head. The Spurs played host to Liverpool. And Manchester City look to maintain their dominance over Brighton, having won all 9 of their previous meetings. And we have a gleaming lineup in the studios. I'm joined by 2 footballing legends, WSL Hall of Fame inductee Rachel Yankee, and here to make her debut on the show, still the current WSL record appearance holder, Kerys Harrop. Now, football aside for a moment, on Remembrance Sunday, across all matches this weekend, a moment of reflection was held before kick-off to pay tribute to those who have lost their lives fighting for their country. We stay at the King Power Stadium as Leicester City welcomed Arsenal. Nigel Adderley was your commentator.
Willie Kirk has chosen to make 2 tactical changes and has opted for the experience of Janice Cayman and the pace of Deanne Rose, with Josie Green and Missy Goodwin dropping to the bench following the 2-1 loss at Liverpool. Cayman and Sophie Howard have been paired together to try and deal with the threat of Alicia Russo, who scored a hat-trick against Leicester last season. Arsenal are without Kim Little and Leah Volti due to injury, so Australian international Kyra Cooney-Cross makes her full debut in the Women's Super League, and Frida Marnham, who scored home and away against Leicester last season, they come into midfield. Beth Mead and Vivian Miedemar continue their comebacks from the bench, where they're joined by 17-year-old striker Viviane Leah. Leitzing has given the ball away cheaply to Palova. Arsenal could be in. The dink from Palova, and it's wide. Well, it was a great opportunity, and it was another gift. Janina Leitzing giving it straight to Victoria Palova. She had players in support. She could have given Russo a tap-in, but she went for the delicate lob and failed to hit the target. But Leicester confidence growing. Nevin away from Ilestedt and Lacasse. Nevin still going. He's never quite in control of the ball, but she still has the corner following the challenge from Ilestedt. The corner in towards Howard, but it's Petterman with the header, and the second header finds the back of the net from Tierney. And yet again, Arsenal don't keep a clean sheet, and it's Leicester who take the lead. Sam Tierney's first goal of the season. Petterman winning the initial header, Tierney clearly onside, and she was able to rise above Ruben Moy and divert the ball in from almost on the goal line. Petterman. That's an excellent ball. Here is Kane. Kamen waits in the centre. Well, what about this? 2 goals in 2 minutes for Leicester City. Janice Cayman with her first for the club, and a player who has won trophies at the very highest level leaves Jonas Edeval perplexed. Arsenal caught out by the pace of Kane yet again, and that's an excellent ball in. Cayman coming in between the two central defenders and applying the finish. And that's brilliant stuff from Leicester. And Arsenal here are in real trouble. Catholic. Now forward. Lacasse in pursuit. Nevin has lost out. Here is Lacasse, and Arsenal are back in the game. Chloe Lacasse delivering what Jonas Eidevall was looking for. Arsenal taking the more direct route. Courtney Nevin caught out, and Chloe Lacasse with a nerveless finish. And the Canadian international has given Arsenal a route back into this game. Cooney cross. McCabe. We know she can hit them from long range, but this time it's Russo! Well, it's not taken them long, and Arsenal scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. Arsenal are back on level terms. Clever ball in from Katie McCabe. Leicester were coming out in instalments. Russo clearly onside. And she's able to jab it beyond Leipzig. Only her second goal for Arsenal. Kane looking to go beyond McCabe. And the cross in is cleared now. And Arsenal have the opportunity to break with Lacasse. Russo into Ford. 2-0 down. 3-2 up in the blink of an eye. And Arsenal delivering the sort of recovery they need in what they hope will become a title challenge. A devastating breakaway. Lacasse picking out Russo. Ford able to deliver an inch-perfect finish. And Alicia Russo has been key to the comeback. Nevin with the free kick. Well, it's not being cleared. Appeals for a penalty, but waved away as Goodwin went down. And here is Cooney cross. Arsenal moving forward again. And they've got support on the overlap. And it's Lacasse again. She can make it 4-2, but in the end, she finds Palova. And Arsenal do have a fourth. And Leicester City have capitulated. Leicester were looking for a penalty at one end, but Palova has made it 4-2 at the other. Goodwin was the player who went down. There was no penalty, and Arsenal from that moment swept forward. There were red shirts everywhere. Lacasse could have scored, but in the end she picked out Palova. Palova, who missed that great chance at 0-0, has now made it 4-2. And Arsenal have the overload once again. It's Mead. Blackstenius in support. The cross is driven. And both Leipzig and Bott got touches on that, and it will be a corner. Cooney cross delivering in. It's flicked on by Hurtig, and it's off the crossbar. Again, Leicester not dealing with the movement from the corner. Russo. Hurtig. And here was an opportunity for Palova. And she finds Blackstenius. And she gets number 5. Well, it was only a matter of time for Stina Blackstenius. And Arsenal really piling on the agony now. Hurtig finding Palova. And she knew where Blackstenius was going to be. And Sophie Howard was caught on the wrong side. And a player of Blackstenius' quality rarely misses in that sort of situation. Now McCabe. Hurtig again. Blackstenius is waiting, but Hurtig goes herself, and it's turned onto the post by Leipzig. And Kuhl is very quickly into the action, into the wide open spaces for Hurtig. Blackstenius and Mead down the centre. It's in towards Mead, and it's off the post. So close to her moment. Palova. She's had an excellent second half, and she's found Hurtig, and she is clean through. Blackstenius in support, but she doesn't need her. Lena Hurtig makes it 6-2. And it's her first goal in the Women's Super League. And Leicester City's resolve has finally melted away. Arsenal's powers of recovery in the second half were quite remarkable. 2 goals down, they came out and responded with 6 goals. The ultimate game of 2 halves. It is finished. Leicester City 2, Arsenal 6.
I mean, what a lesson it is in terms of how good we can be and what can happen to you if you're just half a yard off it. And I thought Arsenal were supremely clinical in terms of their counter-attacks. 6-2 probably doesn't make a big difference, but at 3-2 when we should have a penalty and then they score within 15 seconds and make it 4-2, the game's probably over at that point in terms of our players being shocked and wounded and struggle to come back from it.
They press really aggressively, and if you win the 1v1 duels, the whole pitch opens up. But if you lose them, of course, they now open up the pitch on their side. And I think that was the difference for us between the first and the second half. We had better structure behind the ball, then we could punish their defending system.
Well, what a way to start the show. An 8-goal thriller. And Rachel, for your former team, Arsenal, a magnificent comeback. Talk to me about the mentality needed to go in 2-0 down at the break to come back and win 6-2.
Yeah, I think, you know, the character they've shown, obviously, this is an Arsenal team that are looking to win the league, you know, looking to get back into the Champions League. Going down 2-0, you've got to come out second half and you've got to prove yourself. You've got to, you know, give something to the game and make sure you get 3 points. So I think they showed that, and, you know, it was good character to come back.
And Keris, Leicester started so well. They had 2 chances in the first half. They scored 2 goals. Just talk me through them.
Yeah, it was a great ball in here from the corner, and Petterman's done well to rise above, but ultimately Arsenal's defending is really poor. Russo's lost her player there, Caitlin Ford's lost hers as well, and it's just simple runs off the back which has caused Arsenal at fault there. And then again here, some good play by Petterman, ball in behind to Kane. It's a great run by Cayman, getting in between, a fantastic finish. But again, Arsenal, you know, there's lots of Wood-Moy needs to stay central there, and she's been able to creep in behind it. It's too easy. So from Arsenal's point of view, that'll be poor defending from them.
I mean, Arsenal looked a little bit shell-shocked at that point. I would love to know what Jonas Seiderval said to them at half-time to start this whole comeback. I won't ask you to name who scored which goal in which order, but let's take a look at the Arsenal goals. I'll tell you now, it started with Chloe Lacasse.
Yeah, I think perfectly it started with Chloe Lacasse because of how her passion. Look at the way she just wants to win this ball. She never gives up. And I think that's where at half-time they must have been saying you need to be more aggressive, you need to go for it. And she certainly did. So I think that goal really started the Arsenal comeback.
And Russo had such a big part to play in this comeback, didn't she, Keris?
Yeah, she took up a good position there. Again, Leicester will be defended, disappointed with their defending there, watching the ball, and Russo's been left on her own in that particular case.
This one's my favourite though. I mean, look at this goal.
Fantastic.
Like that's special there. I think Russo, you know, she's such a good player in terms of how she looks for other players. So, you know, special goals.
Yeah. Well, I can tell there was no neutrality in the makeup room. Rachel was cheered so loud when the Caitlin Ford opportunity went in. But the goals just kept on coming. It was relentless in the second half.
It was. Like Willie said in the interview there, it was the counter-attack from Arsenal. They attacked with pace, and Leicester couldn't deal with that, and it shows there again. Hurtig just left on her own. That's purely from the pace of Arsenal to get forward, and Leicester just couldn't deal with that today.
Now, the Leicester boss, Willie Kirk, talked about a stone wall penalty. This was when they were 3-2 down. It was Russo on Goodwin. And we can see not just the penalty shout, but then also what happens afterwards, because Arsenal go straight up the other end and then score. First of all, is this a penalty?
I didn't think so, to be quite honest. I thought, as an attacker defending, I think she does well to stop herself from going through the player. And then obviously after it, you know, they break them down, they counter-attack. That's such a nice goal. The fact that Chloe Lacasse could have gone and shot herself and passed it, but no, not for me. Not a penalty.
I agree with Rach. We're old school, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I think if Russo had come through with her left foot and actually swiped Missy Goodwin's legs, then absolutely definitely. But she's purposely tried to stop her left foot and it's planted into the ground. And I think Missy Goodwin's probably looked for that a little bit. But yeah, definitely not a penalty in my eyes.
Yes, a very good day in the office for Arsenal. Now, though, our focus turns to two sides who entered the weekend level on points. Liverpool looked to do the double over the North London clubs since their opening day victory over the Gunners, whilst Tottenham aim to extend their four-match unbeaten run.
Drew Spence misses her first game for Tottenham since arriving last summer. The midfielder has picked up an injury that is set to keep her out for a few weeks. So Kit Graham makes her first league start of the season. Martha Thomas tops the WSL scoring charts. What a signing she has been since arriving from Manchester United in September. 7 goals in all competitions. 6 of those have come in just 5 WSL games this season. 6 changes from Liverpool's Continental Cup defeat to Manchester City in midweek, but just 2 from their league win over Leicester. Mia Enderby impressed against City and earns her first WSL start, with Kerry Holland also coming in. Jasmine Matthews is out injured, while Missy Beaucairns drops to the bench. Backup goalkeeper Tegan Micah is out with a calf problem, so 16-year-old Eva Spencer comes into the squad. Clark forwards, Roman Howe. Nice ball to Herbinger, and suddenly the space opens up a little for Liverpool. And look at the space here for Grace Fisk. First time delivery, and what a chance that is. Squandered by Sophia Roman Haug. That should have been 1-0 Liverpool.
This should have been. It's a fantastic build, straight through the middle of the park, and Roman Haug has to hit the target here. But really good opportunity for Liverpool to get an attempt at goal.
Good strength through the centre for Tottenham, for Celine Bizet. As Thomas ahead of her, Bizet urged to shoot, does so! Lovely goal. Did it all herself, Celine Bizet. First of the season for the Norway international. Oh, she enjoyed that. And so did the crowd here. Tottenham hit the front against Liverpool, 1-0.
It's a fantastic goal and a fantastic solo goal. You think about where she picked the ball up from. Carries the ball fantastically well, and Martha Thomas's run is crucial in opening up the space for Bizet to score here. Hits it hard and low and takes the opportunity.
Yes, Marie, come across.
Here comes Tottenham, leading by the goal to 0. Graham just took it into Kerry Holland, but Clinton's done really well there. Bizet drives, deflection off the bar. So unfortunate for Tottenham, almost so unfortunate for Liverpool as well.
Yeah, it's a fantastic strike. It's Clark that makes the block, and luckily for her, it hits the crossbar and comes out.
Thomas, little dink ball looking for Bizet. Graham, oh, almost. Well, we know she's got that quality kick. Graham caught this very sweetly indeed.
What a fantastic strike that was, and Laws was well caught off her line there.
Martha Thomas has dropped into the 10. Clinton out on the left, Bizet on the right, now through the centre. See how that develops. Oh, good delivery, Sophia Roman Haug with the equaliser. Well, she's had a couple of chances in this game and she stuck that one away. Tottenham switched off, Liverpool level.
And that's probably the first bit of quality we've seen from Liverpool in those wide areas, and it comes from the substitute Daniels, out on the right-hand side, floats the ball into the box, and Roman Haug has been trying to do this all afternoon.
And a first Liverpool goal for Sophia Roman Haug. Amy Turner's header has put her teammates under a bit of pressure there, but Neville comes to help out. Oh, lovely. Home crowd here enjoyed that. Thomas, Bizet through the centre, gets the touch, challenged. Well, no appeal from Bizet. And Liverpool have just about done enough there with Gemma Bonner.
That's an unbelievable tackle, by the way. Gemma Bonner has to time it to perfection.
perhaps advantage could have been played for a little longer there from Abby Byrne. Kerry Holland had done well. As Liverpool squander a huge chance. What an opportunity. What a great run from Bonnet, but she can't stick it away.
She hits it with the laces and it goes over the bar.
And 1-1 it finishes, and these two keep pace with each other as they push towards the top of the WSL.
It was a little bit disappointing with our positional play in the first half. But look, we'll take the point, especially the way that we started the game. But as I say, I felt if there was going to be a win, it was going to be us at the end.
I think it's a tough game. I think Liverpool is actually very good. I think they are this year's one of the best teams we played against, and it's high tempo. They want to press us, we want to play. So tough game. We had the 1-0, but I think a draw is actually fair. So I think it's a good game.
So the Spurs boss Robert Villaham there, Rachel, saying a draw was a fair result. Do you agree?
Yeah, I probably would agree with him. I think first half probably Tottenham were the better of the team, and then Liverpool, I think, second half come back into it and probably look the strongest at the end.
Keris, let's take a look back at your former side's goal, because it was an outstanding individual effort from Celine Bizet.
Yeah, it was, yeah. She's had a fantastic game today. I know Gemma Bonner got player of the match, but I probably would have given it to Celine myself. She's done really well here. Good work rate to win the ball back, and Martha Thomas makes this for her. She's cutting across. Maybe an unexperienced striker would have pulled out themselves to receive it, to take the shot themselves, but she's created that fantastic space for Celine just by dragging that defender across. And like I say, great finish by Celine. She's on fire. I've seen her play now a few times over the last couple of games, and you can tell she's really full of confidence, and it's showing now with her striking and also her dodgy celebrations there.
Yeah, Celine didn't think twice about going for goal there, did she? Now, Rachel, when it comes to Liverpool, they obviously got their equaliser in the second half, and I think if any team was going to go on and win it, it was probably them.
Yeah.
Talk me through their equaliser.
I think Van der Sanden first plays it out wide. I think for me, it's her dynamic run into the box here that gets Amy Turner's attention and leaves Roman Howe for pretty much a free header.
Should the defence have done better there?
Yeah, I think so. I think Amy Turner doesn't need to go into that challenge there. And now she's coming back. She can't open up. She now sees Van der Sanden there, which then I think Tottenham getting themselves in a bit of a disarray really, because the right back needs to come in. They need to sort themselves out earlier in their defensive shape. But you know, credit to Liverpool. They've worked it well.
We didn't show all of the challenges there, but it was a physical old afternoon, wasn't it, Keris? One of the things that impressed you, though, was Spurs' work rate when out of possession.
Yeah, it's something I've been really impressed with them over the last few games I've watched, is the work rate this year, the desire for the players to win the ball back, and that certainly in the first half was causing Liverpool some real issues. You see here, Ash Neville doing what she always does, getting stuck in, misses the challenge that time, but Ev's there to back her teammate up, and then Ash gets back. But yeah, that work rate is ultimately, in my eyes, is what is allowed Tottenham to get to the position at the minute in the league, and if they continue to do that and keep making it hard for teams, then they won't concede too many goals this season.
Is this something that was lacking maybe last year when they were struggling?
I think so, yeah, and that naturally happens when you're struggling as a team and confidence is low. Maybe your desire to work as hard maybe isn't there, but the team are firing this year. I've heard some real positive things from my former teammates there, loving playing under the new coach and the style of play they've got, so hopefully they can keep pushing onwards and upwards, but these type of games they still need to try and get those 3 points where they can.
Yeah, Spurs are going really nicely this season, aren't they? One thing is lacking, though, potentially in defence. They've only had one clean sheet in 23 games. How do they tighten things up at the back?
I think it's little basic things. So you saw there with the goal and a couple of chances that Liverpool had towards the end, is just things like open up your body when you're defending crosses or corners or balls coming in wide, and checking your shoulders. And it's happened in some of the other games as well, hasn't it? Not just this Tottenham game, but maybe a bit of defensive practice across the whole league, and just the basics. So this is all stuff that they can go back onto the training pitch and fix. But yeah, open body shape and communicating and passing on players is a key change that I think can happen and tidy things up for Spurs.
Well, if you think back to this time last season, Spurs were going 9 games without a win. I know you're a part of that team. We'll gloss over that. It's been a real turnaround, hasn't it? But look, our next stop is to Manchester. As City looked to bounce back following their defeat at the hands of Arsenal last weekend. They welcomed a Brighton side who had failed to keep a clean sheet in all their last 15 away WSL matches. Chris Legg watched the action unfold.
Manchester City, such a fine record against Brighton in the WSL. 8 wins, 1 draw, and such a fine record in the league this season. Until defeat to Arsenal, and an early shot off the bar from Chloe Kelly. 20 seconds in, and Chloe Kelly rattles the woodwork. Torresdottir's done well to push her wide, but Shaw still has it. Short to Morgan. Brighton just can't get the ball back at the moment. Kelly. Plenty of space for Kelly to choose what she's going to do. Knocks it towards the far post, and it's almost onto the head of Angeldal. Kennedy with the shot, but it's over the bar. The England international, and knocks it towards that far post, but Shaw gets a header in over the bar. Given away though, and Fowler picks it up for City, who can break in numbers here. And it's with Kelly in a bit of space. Kelly whips it across to Hemp at the far post. Hasegawa to Jess Park. Park plays it short to Kelly. Kelly, she can hit them from here. She does hit it. Oh, just wide of that right-hand post. Takes it beyond Bergsvan. Gets the crossing towards Hemp. Really good save on this occasion. Hemp. Hemp slides it through to Fowler. Flag stays down. Fowler takes on the shots. Bagley saves it. Comes back to Castellanos. Bergsvan to Torresdottir. Across to Karabali. Brighton just sensing they could go for it here. Bremer slides it in, it's knocked in by Lee. Lee Gyun-min against her former club. Is this going to be a smash and grab for Brighton? They've never beaten Manchester City in the WSL. They're 1-0 up with 10 minutes to play. Lee Gyun-min, the substitute. Well, this was a great run forward by another former City player, Paulina Bremer, with the perfect cross for Lee to snaffle home from 2 yards out. City looking to rescue something here. Kelly with a corner, hangs it up towards the far post, headed back in, and Bergsvan clears it almost off her own line. Fowler picks it up for City. She works room for the cross in towards Hemp, brings it down really well. Gets the volley in off the bar. It's come off the back of Bagley, and somehow that Brighton goal survives. To win away at Manchester City would be really quite something, but Chloe Kelly looking to change that now. Still Chloe Kelly drags it back towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Kelly with the shot. Bagley stands true and once more palms it behind. Frustrating afternoon for Chloe Kelly, denied time and again by Sophie Bagley. Kelly tries to take it beyond Kullberg. Done well here, Chloe Kelly. Sarri clears it. Keating is inside now, the Brighton half, and the referee blows the full-time whistle, and Brighton celebrate one of the greatest results in their WSL history. They have delivered a crushing blow to Manchester City's WSL title hopes. It has finished Manchester City 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1.
Disappointing for us. I think losing that home record that we've worked so hard to get. I thought we would just off it today. There's something that wasn't quite right. We started the game pretty well. We hit the bar within the first minute and the first attack we have in the game, and gradually from there it kind of regressed into a bit of a passive performance. We wanted to get the fans behind us, and we just didn't give enough energy to get them right behind us, and they were great in the last 10-15 minutes or so to try and drive us on.
Yeah, I think we reflected on some areas that we could be better in managing that final 7 minutes last weekend, and I think we probably deserved it last weekend, and we definitely deserved it today. We knew we would be without the ball a lot because City are fantastic on the ball, and we would have to manage some of their threats. I think the changes that we made at halftime certainly changed the game and started to negate some of the areas that they were getting into our box, and actually that forced them to deliver from outside of the box. And it's just a credit to the adaptability of the group, the resilience that we're building within our performances, and we said we knew if we got one chance we had to take it.
Well, I tell you what, Manchester is a long old road trip for Brighton. I imagine it's a very happy bus ride home this evening. But has this win against a top four, the so-called Big Four, been coming? Because we saw Brighton go 1-0 up against Chelsea and then lose. They went 1-0 up against Manchester United and then draw. Did you see this coming, Rachel?
I think everybody saw that Brighton have really improved. You know, they look a lot better than they did previously. But to go to Manchester City and win away at Manchester City, that's such a hard ground. So no, I don't think people would bet that they would go there and do that. But you know, what they've done is they were fantastically organised and come off with a win. It's fantastic 3 points.
Melissa Phillips, the Brighton manager, said after the game if they had a chance they had to take it. They had just 3 shots on target, but it doesn't matter because they got the only goal of the game, Karis.
You're right, yeah, but a lot of teams going to Man City will experience that. You rarely get many chances against Manchester City, but it's great play here by Pauline Bremer. I think the defending could definitely been a lot better, but it's a good ball in and great finish at the back post by Lee. But you know, Man City will be disappointed with their defending here. Alana Kennedy-Meyer should have just stayed central, because you can see the left back there. She's got 3 players against 1. She's made the right decision to try and affect the front striker, but she hasn't quite managed to get to the ball, and Lee's just free there at the back post. A real poor defending from Man City there, but credit to Brighton. They, like you say, took the chances that they were given.
Well, if Brighton took their chance, Manchester City did everything but, Rachel. 35 attempts on goal, 13 of those on target. How wasteful were they this afternoon?
I mean, some of it's unlucky, obviously, if you hit the post, you know, some of the chances that they had, but these are the games that, you know, you get that many chances. If you're a team that want to be, you know, champions again, you need to put one of those in the back of the net. So, for me, you know, some of these that...
Did you ever have an afternoon like this where it just wouldn't go in?
I think the difference is we'd always try and find a way, and more often than not it'd be the last minute that you found the way. I think that one by Roord before, where she hits into the keeper, you know, she's got to find the corner there. It was an off day for Manchester City, which for them is really disappointing, but you know, not for the lack of trying.
Yeah. Well, as wasteful as Manchester City were, we have to give praise not just to the Brighton defence, but also Sophie Bagley in goal for them as well today, Karis.
Yeah, she had a really good game. She had to be with those 35 chances. Obviously, not all of them she saved, but a lot of them she did. And you see here, she's, well, good defending first of all in this particular instance, but there's chances coming up where, you know, she's not been playing regularly for Man United. She's been sitting on the bench, but she's made a real bright start to her time at Brighton, and she's had a fantastic game today. So, certainly proven herself. There's talks of maybe an England call-up. We'll see. I think that's maybe a bit too soon, but as long as she keeps performing well and ultimately playing and keeping her team in the game, then yeah, you never know what's going to happen. But overall, she'll be really pleased with her performance today. And I think she took one in the belly there, a bit winded, but yeah, you've got to put your body on the line with your goalkeeper, and that's part of the job.
Yes, hopefully she's got her breath back now. Well, now it's time to round up the 3 remaining matches, starting with the league leaders Chelsea as they travel to Everton. Emma Jones talks us through the best of the rest of the action.
Everton had lost 11 of their previous 12 Barclays WSL matches against Chelsea and found themselves behind inside the opening 15 minutes on Sunday. Jessie Fleming with her first goal of the season to put the visitors ahead. The hosts grew into the game and were perhaps unlucky to trail at the break, but Chelsea remained ruthless and Sam Kerr doubled the Blues' advantage midway through the second half. The win was rounded off in the 90th minute when substitute Aggie Beever-Jones found the top corner to cap off another fine performance from Emma Hayes' side.
Overall really good first 30 minutes. Thought we were dominant, aggressive, took a good goal with Jessie Fleming, maybe a little careless last 15. Everton grew in the game. I think they were unlucky to go in 1-0 down at half-time, but they didn't take their chances, and we must give credit to Hamburger. Second half, I thought we controlled the game much better, dominated in the areas I expect us to. Brilliant goal from Sam Kerr, and another outstanding goal from Aggie Beever-Jones.
West Ham had lost all 3 of their Barclays WSL away matches against Manchester United and made the worst possible start on Sunday. Jace first to react to Hinata Miyazawa's miscued shot to give the hosts the lead after just 3 minutes. Mark Skinner's side settled into the game but were made to wait for their second goal. It was worth it though, Millie Turner leaving Mackenzie Arnold with no chance in the Hammers' goal. Things quickly got worse for the visitors, as in first half stoppage time, Nikita Parris added to her impressive tally against West Ham after a lovely pass from Ella Toone. West Ham improved after the break and enjoyed a period of momentum, but their pressure was ultimately to no avail, as Lucia Garcia added a 4th on 88 minutes. Moments later, it was 5, a quick corner between Katie Zelem and Ella Toone before Melvin Mallard got the goal to seal a statement win for Manchester United.
First half scintillating, bomb. Even our counter press was really good at times. But stay on top of your game. That is a Manchester United trait. That is a ruthlessness that we need from now to the end of the season and beyond. That's all I'm getting at. Really happy with other elements of the game.
Aston Villa travelled to Bristol City as the only Barclays WSL side yet to pick up a point this season. But Carla Ward's side enjoyed the better of a cagey first half. Rachel Corsi's effort narrowly over. Despite all Villa's possession, Lauren Smith's side had the best chance of the opening 45. Rachel Furness's volley testing Daphne van Domselaar. The deadlock was eventually broken on 77 minutes. Substitute Ebony Salmon's cross deflecting off defender Megan Connolly and past goalkeeper Olivia Clark. Salmon doubled the visitors' lead 9 minutes later, beating Clark at the second attempt from a tight angle. A deserved first win of the season for Aston Villa, which eases the pressure on manager Carla Ward.
We got back in after Chelsea and we had some, have a look at November. We've set ourselves a target and we're going to go after that. We fully believed in this group. Yes, it's been a tough start, but look, we're a group that want to win football matches, and that today hopefully kickstarts what we want to do in November.
So Villa finally get their first league win of the season. That's after scoring 5 goals midweek in the League Cup. Rachel, is that easing the pressure on Carla Ward?
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, that was a huge game because, Bristol, if they'd gone and won that, then it takes them that little bit clearer of Aston Villa questioning themselves. So I think, that's a massive win for them.
And Manchester United, they're still unbeaten. The fact they had 5 goals today, 5 different goal scorers, JC getting off the mark in the league as well today. Is that their most complete performance this season, do you think?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, the fact that you've got different goal scorers, you've got defenders coming up and pitching in and getting goals, good goals as well by Millie Turner. I think for them, they look solid at the back. They look like they're having fun up front.
Keris, in terms of Chelsea, had there been any worries this week about Emma Hayes' departure announcement potentially rocking the boat and the players not responding very well? Any of those worries went completely out the window today, didn't they? Because they looked just as strong as they did before the announcement.
Yeah, I think with how much the players love and respect Emma, I think they will want to use that as motivation to win the league, send her off with winning the Champions League as well. So it certainly will have the opposite effect. I think for me, knowing that, I'd be the same as well. So it's had a positive effect all round and hopefully that continues.
And it's only fitting that we have you on the show this week, the week that Sophie Ingle finally joined you in the club that you've been the only member of for quite a while now, of WSL record appearance holder. She now joins you on 183 caps. Is she a welcome member of your club? And did you always think it'd be Sophie that'd be the first to join you in it?
She's welcome, I guess. I need a tear to wipe my eye, but no, she's welcome. I knew it'd be either Sophie or maybe Millie Bright that would catch me up. I knew it wouldn't last for long, but I've enjoyed it while it's been there. But no, she's a welcome member, and long may her appearances continue.
Might be time for a comeback from you. Well, let's see how all that affects the Barclays Women's Super League table. Chelsea stay top of the table whilst Arsenal jump from 5th to 2nd. Manchester United complete the top 3. Chelsea and Manchester United, the only 2 sides yet to taste defeat this season. Manchester City's loss mean they drop from 2nd to 6th, and Aston Villa leapfrog Bristol City, but only on goal difference. In the Barclays Championship today, Sunderland suffered their first defeat of the season against Blackburn Rovers. Chelsea Ferguson's initial shot was palmed away by Claudia Moan, but the striker pounced on the rebound in the 57th minute to score the only goal of the game. Elsewhere in the Championship, Crystal Palace came from behind to beat Lewis in a 3-2 thriller. Charlton put 2 past Southampton, whilst Durham and Birmingham City claimed 3 points away from home, and nothing could separate Reading and Watford. Well, Sunderland's loss means they drop down to 2nd place, whilst Charlton now lead at the top of the table on goals scored. Crystal Palace sit 3rd, just 1 point behind the top 2, with Southampton completing the top 4, whilst the rest of the table are unchanged, heading into match week 11. Well, there's a lot to look forward to on the BBC. We have live coverage of the Men's FA Cup first round replay of Cray Valley Paper Mills against Charlton Athletic on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. That's on BBC Two. The Monday Night Club returns as Mark Chapman and the guests debate this weekend's football action. That's tomorrow at 7 p.m. on BBC Sounds. And on Saturday afternoon, Emma Hayes' Chelsea host Liverpool at Stamford Bridge. Catch the build-up at 1:15 on BBC One. And head to the iPlayer now to watch this one.
When I beat the champions of the division, then you'll see me excited.
If you beat Tyson Fury,
I'll be over the moon.
Would you?
Yeah, of course. You know,
would you like to?
Yeah, of course.
Are you friendly with him?
Not really.
Louis Theroux interviews. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
Well, Keris, Rachel, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you then. Goodbye.
Well, what about this? It's Rousseau! Ford, 3-2 up in the blink of an eye. Arsenal do have a fourth. 2 goals down at half-time. They lead 6-2.